All right. What up? It's Mean Gene. I got a special guest sitting in studio with me today. Tonight, you can actually catch him at Thompson Bowling Arena, WWE SmackDown. I got WWE superstar Dean Ambrose. What's up, man?
What's happening?
Not too much. How's it going?
I can't complain.
Yeah, a little tired from driving all night?
Yeah, I'm never tired. It's just, I have been on the road 18 days straight, so I'm just on, I'm in adrenaline autopilot going. So I got a lot of momentum.
Gotcha. That's definitely a good thing. All right, so you are almost celebrating your 2-year anniversary on the main, WWE roster, and you came in on top. And most people, when they do that, there's nowhere to go but down. But you've kind of maintained that. So talk to me a little bit about how that came about and how you kind of kept up there.
I came in as a group. I came in as part of a group called the Shield, and we were all three talented young guys, But when you put us together, we were there was a lot of talent in one spot, so we were able to maintain our position and really become work together and really become a force and kind of carve our spot within the company through just hard work and just bringing we kind of came in with the mindset we're just going to outwork everybody every single night, whether we get looked at as the young guys or whatever. We had a chip on our shoulder and said screw it, we're just going to be better than everybody. And that work ethic paid off, and it kind of carved our spots in the company. And now we eventually went our separate ways, but it put us in a nice spot on the ladder to kind of start developing, doing our own thing. So it's all about just it's all about work ethic night in, night out, because what we do is 300 days a year, and it takes a toll on your body and your mind, and you got to go out there every single night and deliver. Yeah. And whether you're in Roanoke or Knoxville or Tokyo or London or wherever you are. We just got back from Europe, actually, 14 days, something straight in Europe. Wow. And it's every night you got to bring it 100% performance, and that's how you maintain just by bringing it every night.
Gotcha. So you guys, like you said, have gone your separate ways, but again, you still kind of maintained a top spot in a short time. I'm sure you've been doing this for a really long time, but how is it to kind of come in as the new guy and just take over, essentially? Because you guys came in, you're beating, all the biggest names.
I mean, it's like anything else. I have always been of the opinion that I'm pretty good at this, and I'm not gonna let anybody else tell me what I can and can't accomplish, or tell me where I belong on the totem pole, so to speak. I just I'm all about, I just do my thing and do things the way that I like to do them, and I think the rest takes care of itself. Because talent always rises to the top. Cream always rises to the top, man. It's just like anything else. So I was never intimidated coming into WWE, because I always felt like I used to, when I was working in bingo halls and armories and carnivals or whatever, I don't know, whatever it is, every any show I could wrestle on for, years and years and years. And then there came a point where I watched WWE on television and just, I'm better than that guy. I'm better than that guy. I can do it. I could walk in right now and be in WWE. So, that might not have been the case. That might have just been me being, egocentric. But, that confidence, that you can come in and, go nose to nose with, the top guys in the industry. That's what you need. And that's, that's how you're going to stay there. And that's Absolutely. How you, earn respect from, the audience and your peers in the ring. Yeah.
So you, this last month, you main evented your first pay-per-view in a singles match. Tell me, what goes through your head when, they say you guys are getting that top slot, even though some of the, essentially bigger names were on that same card. What was it like when you first heard that, hey, you guys are going to go on last and close out the show?
Well, there are two Hell in a Cell matches, which is essentially a cage match. And there are two of them on the same show, and one of them was John Cena versus Randy Orton, who were the two most, maybe the two biggest names or two most premier guys who've been here. You know, both of them like 10-time WWE champions, and are the preeminent superstars of this era.
Yeah,
and Seth Rollins are young guys in WWE terms, and obviously never main evented a pay-per-view before, and they put ours on last, which I think spoke to just the position we were able to put ourselves in just by digging our heels in and working hard. And for me, I didn't even think about it like that. They were like, originally I heard we were going on fourth, and then somewhere along, you guys are last, and I'm like, okay, cool, and I didn't even think about it, and it wasn't weird to me to be in the main event, and I didn't think about it until days later when it was like, well, you guys main evented the show, over John and Randy, and I was like, oh yeah, that's pretty cool, right? That's a good stamp of approval. You
absolutely.
Hey, if I get hit by a bus tomorrow, I can say I main evented the pay-per-view. But that part of it, wasn't weird to me. It's about and that was a Hell in a Cell match, and which is a very unique and dangerous kind of match, and I'm a unique and dangerous kind of person, so I wanted to put my own stamp on it, and I think we were able to live up to the expectations. I think that was the good part, is that it wasn't out of the ordinary or strange. We were just kind of accepted as part of. We were an accepted main event, So that was what made it cool for me.
Absolutely. All right. So I know that there've been some comparisons out there on the internet to you of Stone Cold Steve Austin and Brian Pillman, her two legendary guys. What is it like when you hear people compare you to people that are legends in the industry that you're in?
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of comparisons, but I think people always want to compare people to people. You're always going to get that, and I don't think anybody can really pinpoint exactly how they want to describe me or my style or compare me to anybody. So I get a million comparisons from everybody from those to A to Z. I've been compared to everybody, and but I don't like to be kind of put in a box like that, or I don't like to pattern myself after anybody else in particular. I like to just I do my thing however I feel like it, and I mean, you might get, if you watch me 10 nights in a row, you might get 10 different versions of me. I just go to the ring and do whatever I feel like doing on that day. And it might be a little more intense, might get a little more wild, we might bring some weapons into it, or we might not. Or it might be, we might just do a little bit more wrestling. It might be funny, it might be angry, I don't know. It literally depends on what kind of mood I'm in that day. So I don't but it's cool to get comparisons like that from people who know what they're talking about. You know what I mean? Anybody can be like, oh, he's the next Hulk Hogan or whatever, but when people that I grew up watching or people that I respect, they give me like, you remind me of this guy that they worked with, or that they know, or that they saw as they were developing, that they wrestled against or whatever. That kind of stuff is cool to me. To just to think of myself in those terms, even on that level, because a lot of those names I still kind of think of as. I think of watching them as a kid. I'm like, oh, they're like grown-ups. They're like real wrestlers. Because I think of them from watching them when I was like 12. So to be on this level is still kind of surreal to me. It's kind of hard to wrap my brain around.
Gotcha. All right. So you said if you do 10 shows in 10 nights that you might be a little bit different on each show. And your nickname is the Lunatic Fringe. So how much of what we see on TV is the real Dean Ambrose, like in real life?
I mean, pretty much. I don't want to go to the ring and try to play a persona or be something that I'm not, because I think the worst thing I could do is go out there and try to come off as something that I'm not. Yeah. Because people choke on that, and sometimes you want people to hate you, and but me, I'm just gonna go out there and be me, and it usually works for me because that's an authentic presentation of me as a person and as a performer. And if I go out there and try to be Mr. Pose guy, or go out there and try to be Mr. Give a long-winded promo and talk forever and give a bunch of if I go out there and try and give speeches and stuff, it's not gonna be it's not me. I talk like I talk, I act like I act how I act, I walk like I walk. And that serves me well, because I think that endears you to people, because you're not trying too hard. If people like me, cool. If they don't, then I really can't worry about it. All I can do is do what I do, because the worst thing I could do is pretend to be something that I'm not.
Absolutely.
Or try to come off as something fancy or bigger than I am. Because I like to think I'm pretty cool just the way I am.
Good stuff. All right, so Survivor Series on Sunday. You got Bray Wyatt. You guys were involved in a match earlier this year where the crowd was screaming, "This is awesome," before it even started. So how are you guys going to top that? Or do you even think about that when you kind of...
Well, a guy like me and a guy like Bray Wyatt, I think we're both very not easily categorizable, and we're two atypical guys in the way we think and the way we do business in the ring. So when you put us on a stage like that, with the kind of the vitriol that has been spewed between the two of us, and kind of there's a lot of tension hanging in the air, and not a lot of good feelings between us, and we've had a lot of run-ins with Bray Wyatt in the past on a lot of different levels, and in singles and tag team and whatever, from every small armory around Florida, even back in the day. But so you put us on a stage like Survivor Series, and we're creative guys, and I'm always, my brain is always twisting and turning with all kinds of horrible, crazy things I can do to people that have never been seen before, and I'm always trying to do something that has never been seen before, and I always want to give people, what they don't expect, and I don't know if anybody has a particular vision of what they expect in this match, and I really, I don't really yet either at this point. I just know that you get a mind like mine and a mind like Bray Wyatt, and you put those chemicals together on a stage like Survivor Series, and it's, anything could happen. It's likely to explode. So, something memorable is going to happen in Survivor Series. Whatever goes down, it's going to be worth talking about the next day.
Gotcha. And that's going to be on the WWE Network, which is free for the month of November.
Yeah, free in the month of November. If you have never seen, a WWE, pay-per-view, if it's, always didn't want to, part with that, $50 or whatever it used to be on pay-per-view. Now we do our big events, on WWE Network, which you can watch on your iPad, on your computer, if you got Apple TV, which I just recently got, and am so happy with Apple TV. Apple TV is so cool, so convenient, and everybody's watching things on demand nowadays. Nobody just sits in front of the television and sees what's on. But WWE Network, it's $9.99 a month, and if you're a wrestling fan of any era, there's so much content on there, and I'm like an obsessed wrestling fan, so I'll just sit there for hours and watch old wrestling, and I'll look up stuff, and I'll just randomly pick something and watch it, and I'm always you relive your childhood stuff that you watched wrestling, and so if you like that, there's endless content, but the current content now, and the NXT product, which is like a new thing, the next generation of guys, kind of like the AAA. You can see that on the network, but and it's $9.99 a month. It's super well spent if you're a sports entertainment fan. But if you just want to check it out, it is free in the month of November, so you can catch Survivor Series totally free. Yeah. Which I used to, we'd pool our money together. You try to unscramble the signal on somebody's television to watch, a Survivor Series or an event like that. You go to Hooters or something and try and, look in the window, But, so the links I've gone to watch a Survivor Series or something like it in the past, it's astonishing to me that, you can watch it for free. Yeah. So all you got to do is go to www.com and, you can check out the WWE Network for a whole month in November, and you can catch the Survivor Series. So it's a maybe a once in a lifetime opportunity for a wrestling fan. Certainly is something I would have salivated over and took advantage of when I was a kid. So if anybody in your family is a wrestling fan, you pretty cheap gift. You can get them for an early Christmas present. It doesn't get any cheaper than free.
Right. All right. So you talked before we started recording about being on the road like 5 out of 7 days a week. So what do you do when you're not on the road? Like when you go home, what is Dean Ambrose doing for those 2 days?
Well, I mean, you typically have, typically get home on a Wednesday morning or afternoon and be out Friday morning or sometimes Thursday night. Because I get a lot of red-eye flights. Where you fly out the night before, because I live in Vegas. So like if we have a show on a Friday in like New York or Virginia or the East Coast, I'll leave on Thursday night and get in the morning on Friday. But I'll you do some laundry, you sit on the porch, you have a cold one or two on the porch, you relax, maybe watch a little television, or just I'll
Apple TV,
take a few naps, and when I got a whole day off, I like to get out, and get out on the bike and ride around. I like mountain biking and hiking and stuff like that, or if there's a concert or something you can check out, what I mean. But the time we have is usually best spent just chilling and resting, because sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to, like, oh dude, you get a day off, come see Kiss or whatever at the Hard Rock or whatever it is. It's Kiss is at the Hard Rock right now, but I didn't get to go because I wasn't in town. But typically any time where you can just sit in a quiet room in the dark and rub your temples and don't have to worry about your body getting thrashed around, that's a good 24 hours well spent. So I like to spend my time off in the most relaxed state possible. You know what I'm saying?
All right, before I let you go, I got to ask you one last question. What are you into? What kind of music is on Dean Ambrose's iPod or iPhone right now?
Oh man, I listen to everything from I like classic rock, hard rock, rock and roll, heavy metal. I like classic country. I listen to hip hop. I listen to just anything that sounds good. You know what I'm saying? Right now, this particular week, it's a very atypical kind of I don't even know what you classify her as, but I'm really obsessed with this girl Jenny Lewis, who's like a kind of a folky kind of singer, but with like an awesome voice and just writes really good songs. And so like that's what I've been listening to this week. But a lot of times, on the road too, I like to come up with there'll always be like a song of the week that everybody's listening to. Like for some reason, the second week of the tour, we were just playing "Here Comes the Hot Stepper," just over and over in the locker room, like before the show. Because I think we're all going a little cabin fever, stir crazy on the road in Europe, because we were, had so many straight shows over there. Yeah, that it was just like everybody walks in the locker room, puts their bags down. Everybody's kind of like, all right, let's get going here. And their show, and then boom, put on a little "Here Comes the Hot Stepper." No. Now the energy's coming up a little bit, and so there's always like a song of the week or something that everybody, that's like the locker room song of the week. It could be anything, So by
the last day, or by the last play before the show starts, everyone's just pumped and ready to go.
Yeah, it's it's something like, oh, I remember that song. Oh yeah, it's good to bring a classic back into the mix.
Absolutely. There's never anything wrong with that. All right. Make sure you go over to KnoxvilleTickets.com. The show starts tonight at Thompson Bowling Arena at 7 p.m. Dean Ambrose in the main event against Seth Rollins, WWE SmackDown in Knoxville. Thanks for your time, man. I appreciate it.
Thank you, man.